It's 5:15 a.m. and I ain't got work today, so you know what that means. We're gonna get another video out. Round 2 of the Manufacturers Cup is Parquet. This one was a wet and wild one. This one was a crazy one. This one had everything you want in a race. It had rain, it had crashes, it had drama. I decided to go with the Red Bull livery because I was gonna have my elbows out. I knew in the rain it was gonna be a lot of shenanigans going on, like that right there by Cars and Brownies. I think he was maybe eating one of those special brownies that we all know to love. But we continue to move. Fast forwarding here on lap 1, I missed my braking point. Almost kill mad speed there. End up going wide, losing out on a lot of positions. Pretty safe rejoin for, you know, my standard. Now I'm back here in P8, P9, P10. As we see Kova P10 there, meeting his fate early on, and he's facing the wrong way on the one way. Popping back up to me in P8, following really closely behind Shift here. I've already been bumped around a lot, so I'm trying not to get in too many more situations, to be honest. I'm looking for somebody to be able to settle in with, somebody to settle down with, you know, from a racing perspective. I've already found somebody to settle down with in like a life perspective, but in this race, it's a lot harder to find that person than you would think. You can see how disgusting it is out here. It just feels like, you know, when, for the Harry Potter fans, when he was flying in Quidditch and, you know, he almost fell out. I think that was in the, dang, which one did he fall out in when he was trying to catch the snitch and the ice was hitting him in the face? That's how it felt, trying to do this. Nice little move around the outside there. That chicane is a real treacherous one to try to go too wide through, but I'm able to make it work. And now we're right back behind my friend Cars and Brownies. I really like that Ferrari livery he got on, but I can't be too much of a fan of it as there's a race to win. I noticed a lot of people having a lot of issues as we almost go 3 wide through the hairpin. Down in these B lobbies, I was expecting there to be a lot of problems in the rain, and you can see I run into a problem of my own, facing the wrong way down a one-way. Again, getting damage on the front and the back. So while I'm back there, let's take a look a little bit further up the grid. Got Ice Dog and Federal trying to make it happen. It's just lap 3. It's still a wet, wild wonderland. Federal just a little bit later on the brakes. He's able to get cleanly into P3, and that was going to be a really big move as the race continues to unfold. Federal coming right back on lap 5 with another big move that would ultimately win them the race. You see here they're currently in P2, getting on the brakes a little bit earlier. Captain Slow making a big mistake there, the same mistake I made earlier, and that's Federal driving off into the sunset. That would ultimately win him the race. He would finish in P1 by a country mile. By this time in the race, I've worked myself out of P11. You see me up in P9 right here, and things would continue looking up, getting better here. Hopping on board with our old friend Cars and Brownies. Let's get on that power a little bit too early. And guess who it is? Being the benefactor of that. That's P8 right there. And not only I'm up 3 positions, but also I can smell the track drying up. I can smell the track drying up, y'all. Because of that, I decided to go ahead and call it 2 laps later. Captain Slow also probably smelled the same thing cooking, so now it's both of us first ones to blink. This is a big gamble right here because if I'm wrong, I'm not even going to be able to finish the race, right? So I decided to go on the mediums. Captain Slow goes on the softs. Kova also feeling the track drying up, so they're going to get off those wets. You can still see all that spray kicking up. But what you can also see is dry cement. So Captain Slow getting the move done right there. That was a really nice move. No, he's on softer tires, and Cars and Brownie's still on the weather tech tires or whatever, the wets, the intermediates, whatever they are, the ones with the tread on them. So now objective numero uno is getting past Cars and Brownies as quickly as I can. Captain Slow gets it a bit wrong there. Probably touched a little bit of the wet line, and I do the same thing right here. It's so important when the track condition is the way it is right now that you stay on the dry line if you have the slick tires on. Otherwise, you're going to be turning your car into a sailboat. Anyways, Cars and Brownies back up into P8, so they'll be slowing both of us down. You can see right here Captain Slow. You can just see the speed difference right there. Captain Slow on the soft tires. Those things are mean green racing machines, but you can push a bit too hard on them like he did right there, and he ends up meeting our friend, turning into Disco Dan. Cars and Brownies, Jeff Gordon going in. So now I'm feeling like this was a 4 million IQ call, to be honest with you. Fought my way all the way back up to P6. And I know that 1 through 5 still have some pit stops to do if they're going to go onto the softer tire. Oh, well, actually, no. I'm capping. I'm wrong. Only Mr. Racing and Federal are still on the wet tires. So I got a little bit of work to do. Federal, Mr. Racing 1 and 2 still going to have to pit. So 3 through 5 are done. So I'm going to have to catch them on pure pace. And again, I'll be able to do that. Hashtag thank you NRL, because I've already done this race. I did minimal practice coming into here, but the muscle memory just kicked in. You see Ice Dog there struggling a bit, and this is where my racecraft has definitely improved. Last week at Road Atlanta, I would have tried to force my way past here, but this week I decide, you know, let's just get in this rearview mirror, let's put the pressure on. You gotta kind of treat it like, you know, like foreplay, right? You can't get right into it. That's crazy. That's crazy, but I'm also right. You can't get right into overtake, especially in conditions like this. What the game plan is here is to put the pressure on, and really you want to speed the driver in front of you up and force him into a mistake. So I'm just real, you know, hitting the brakes real early, being real smooth, keeping everything real consistent, real planted as we continue through here. The rationale is that all the time I'm losing with them, you know, struggling a little bit in these corners, I'll be gaining in the long run, first off in the slipstream on the straights, but also hopefully, you know, I'm kind of rope-a-doping them into thinking that they can go faster in the corners, and we can work together as a team to maybe catch the podium sitters right now. Speaking of the podium sitters, we got Xeno Speed and Mad Speed, the speedsters, and what we're really needing them to do right now, as Mr. Racing has a bit of a moment there, not a bit of a moment, a lot of a moment there in the wall, is for some type of fighting to go on. And we see here we get exactly that. Ice Dog gets a little bit distracted there, so I'm able to skirt past him. That's P5. So now it's me and Mr. Racing. He's going to be my new, you know, partner until I don't need him anymore. Luckily for me, that time would come a lot faster than I thought. A little bit later here on lap 14, you see I'm still just trying to stay in the slipstream, and Mr. Racing understeers off and reveals 3 other cars have done a version of the same thing, which puts me squarely on the second step of the podium. And let's just take a look at what happened here, because it was pure chaos. First POV, we're going to look at Zeno's speed. There's already the yellow flag up, so we know something is afoot. He gets on the brake nice and, you know, easily. We see Shift throwing up some water there, and Zeno also just getting a little bit off that racing line, and things going bad to worse for them as Mad Speed knocks them through the side. At the same time, there was Zeno goes off, Mad Speed also goes off, and I'm the only one able to keep it together. And that'll be me up in the P2. So I don't really know what else to say. Honestly, like, this is just crazy. And sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.